Boom! Again, has anyone memed this shit? I thought there'd be memes. I thought for sure someone was gonna do a Super Saiyan meme right here, because you could do the whole leveling up, the like, Kamehameha. There was the Turning Point USA, which is Charlie Kirk's basically Hitler Youth Outreach Program. The conservative youth. All right, let's not go that far, because we do have to talk about actual Nazis today. And then their competitors, the Groypers, aka the neo-Nazi movement in the United States, the America First movement, led by Nick Fuentes, someone who has professed a lot of his things, such as loving Hitler, Hitler did nothing wrong, denying the Holocaust, saying that, there's a holy war going on between Christians and Jews, all the kind of stuff that you expect Nazis to kind of talk about. That's Nick Fuentes. But the Groypers, they hate Turning Point USA because they think of them as kind of like way too lefty. They think Turning Point USA is kind of like, soy-ridden liberal cucks because they're just not as extreme as the Groypers. Now, since their first kind of battles a couple years ago, Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk himself have gone even further right in his rhetoric. He doesn't talk the same way he used to back then. He might be a little bit more dog-whistly or reserved. And now Charlie Kirk is just straight up always talking about how, indigenous genocide was good because it, civilized the barbarians, that he doesn't trust black pilots because of DEI. He says a lot of things out loud that Nick Fuentes used to, because a lot of the entire MAGA right-wing movement in the US has gone even further right, and they've normalized a lot of their own racism and anti-Semitism and all that other fucked up shit. So the AFPAC, which I guess is the American First venue, got canceled over the weekend, leading to a lot of Groypers having to just wander the streets looking for something to do. Yesterday, as our team finished setting up our stage and we began preparing to rehearse the program for tonight, our venue, the Russell Industrial Center, informed us they will not be permitting us to go forward with the event in breach of our contract with them. We attempted to negotiate with the property manager, but they said they already called the police, who forced our 100-person team to leave the premises and threatened to criminally trespass us. And again, I think it's one of those situations where they probably booked the venue not telling them exactly who they were. They would be like, yes, we're an organization of youth that we try to encourage political involvement. This is the name of our association, AFPAC, and that we want to get youth more involved in politics, and that's what we're having a conference for. Sure, that sounds good, you're booked. And then as time went on, people found out that it was the Groypers and it was the neo-Nazis, and so the venue was like, yeah, we're canceling it. We didn't know that when we originally booked you, so sorry for that. So we will be in touch shortly with sponsors. America First students, VIP guests, exclusive closed-door events. So this led to the Groypers and SNEAKO having to wander the streets to look for something to do for a while. This was SNEAKO at the Turning Point USA event before he moved on. And this is the N-word Karen, who's already doing the rounds with other, famous right-wingers. Seth Dillon, ex-UFC, transphobe, bigot, racist of the highest order, also just hanging out there. Yeah, that's basically what everyone thought was going to be going down. Oh, not to mention David Duke, also there. David Duke, former KKK leader, who's one of America's most known white supremacists, was in Detroit for the America First rally gathering. So here he was in downtown Detroit, just hanging out with the Groypers.
So you're David Duke?
Yes.
Okay. Nice to meet you. What brings you out here? This is the Groyper.
To support Nick and his work and all the workers that are out here and all the people that are working to save our country and save us from Jewish supremacism.
Are you friends with Nick?
Genocide, because we're being genocide just like the Palestinians. It's just a different form of it.
Are you friends with Nick?
I consider him a comrade in the fight
Gotcha.
for our people.
Okay, cool.
And I'm very appreciative of his work.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, the former leader of the KKK joining the Groypers, the Hitler Youth, hanging out, and so they got kicked out of the Turning Point USA event. So they lost their venue, and so the Groypers decided, okay, fine, fuck it, let's go to Turning Point USA. They got kicked out of Turning Point USA because Turning Point USA, like I mentioned before, does not mix well with the Groypers. And so the two of them had a little, clash there. They got their event canceled, kicked out of Turning Point USA. And so then they decided, you know what, like most people, let's hit the club. And they tried to get into a bar. And that's where SNEAKO joined in to talk to the bouncer about getting the Groypers in. Boom! Again, has anyone memed this shit? I thought there'd be memes. I thought for sure someone was gonna do a Super Saiyan meme right here, because you could do the whole leveling up, the like Kame. You could have the flames and everything. Like that was one hell right before it happened. Look at this. Goes from the double fingers. So if you're wondering what happens at this frame right here, SNEAKO. This is SNEAKO's hand ripping off the bouncer's hat. Now, I don't know if any of you have never had any experience going out, but I'll just tell you, going out 101, don't fuck with bouncers, okay? These are human beings who have fought a lot of drunks in their lives. You might even say it's their job, and are very, very used to manhandling drunks and doing it quickly to avoid the potential for drunken friends to then join in on brawls and try to overpower bouncers. Bouncers know how to very quickly, let's not say de-escalate, because they fuck people up. They fucking beat the fuck out of you, but they know how to get it just out of the way quick to just keep the business flowing and keep everything going. Because again, these are industries that deal very heavily with alcohol. A lot of people are going to be drunk. Sometimes people get upset. Sometimes they get emotional. Sometimes they get violent, and they have to basically get rid of that element as quickly as possible and then keep everything flowing so more people can come in and spend more money. That's their jobs, okay? So grabbing a bouncer's hat off their head is a very, very quick way to have this happen. Yes, the flying punch to the face.
We got SNEAKO here. He's got this busted up tooth. Smile for me.
Again, don't fuck with bouncers. That's the only piece of advice I could really give you in terms of what took place here, you know? Wow. Just wow. I've seen so many different clips, by the way, of SNEAKO just getting fucked up. Like it's like, hey, SNEAKO's now trying to take on this, like, you know, UFC fighter. Yeah, beats the shit out of him. I'm not, by the way, sitting here because I know the response is going to be like, oh, what, you think you could beat him in a fight? I'm not a fighter. I'm not going up to clubs, walking up to bouncers and then chirping them and trying to take their hats off, because I know what will happen. I will get shit beat out of me. They will fuck me up. I've seen people get fucked up by bouncers in real time. No, thank you. No, not for me. I have no interest in any of this behavior. But again, is this your first rodeo? Did you not know that? What were you expecting? What did you think was going to happen? These are people whose jobs are literally controlling drunks. Yes, and that includes beating the fuck out of drunks too. Don't fuck with bouncers.
Man, this was the security guard at this thing, at this event, right up here, off the stage. No one attacked this guy, punched SNEAKO in the face. No one touched him. Yeah. He jumped off the stage, hit SNEAKO in the face.
You know it's all on camera, right? Y'all were filming the whole thing. Not completely unprovoked. Nothing happened. He was literally just standing there in silence, and as he was standing there in silence, the guy just ran up and just clocked him in the face. And that's what happened. True story. Definitely. They don't de-escalate, they decimate. That's it. That's, again, a piece of advice for anyone who's looking to go out at night. Again, it's not worth it. There is very, very little this could end well for you possible scenarios if you're trying to fuck with bouncers.
The thing happened. This was just right now?
Just now.
Just fucking happened.
The guy that he shut off the speech to go play his music, he just got rocked in the face. But I'm a non-violent person. You know, I care about America first. That's what it's all about. Yeah,
man. We'll take it through the legal necessary ways we got to do, because
we'll take it through the legal necessary ways we got to do. I'm pretty sure if you were to show that video footage to an officer, he would see the inciting incident was when you ripped that dude's hat off his head. Yeah, well, you were trying to get into a club that you were denied entry into. That's honestly what I think would go down. Call legal. Yeah, he'll definitely take this one on pro bono.
Is prosecuting a genocide in Gaza right now.
By the way, one of the reasons why I not only like to make fun of Nick Fuentes, because again, it's just like, you could not imagine a more prototype of like what they consider to be the soy boy than Nick Fuentes. Booger eating fucking this half emaciated racist ass weirdo is the one who's leading fucking the neo-Nazi Groiper movement. Nick Fuentes, this dude. Okay, all right. I guess this is the master race, y'all.
30,000 women and children. They've done it with our money.
But a lot of them, and the far right and the fash, they will try to hijack actual, necessary and noble movements, whether that be the movement for Palestinian liberation, of which this is a guy who is very anti-Semitic. This is a guy who hates Jewish people. This is a guy who, there's an entire Southern Poverty Law Center article on the amount of horrifying, anti-Jewish discrimination and racism and shit that he espouses, and now trying to, as an opportunist would, utilize and other popular social movements like a movement for Palestinian liberation, and then try to hijack them, as fascists are really, really fond of doing.
They've done it with our bombs. It is reprehensible to any Christian to support what Israel is doing in Gaza right now. No, that's not the Holy Land. That is the devil's land in Israel.
That last quote is pretty telling too, right? That's not the Holy Land. Gaza is the devil's land. Yes, where the untouchables live. Disgusting. But yeah, they're also, as you can tell, they're all very young. The Groypers are definitely a young movement of, I'm assuming, a lot of teenage boys who love the edginess of it all. Edginess, aka extreme overt racism. Because yeah, if you watch a lot of other streamers or broadcasters that aren't Nick Fuentes, they're not going to sit there and just drop N-bombs all the time, right? They're not going to sit there and say the F slur every other word. They're not going to sit there and talk to you about how, Jewish people want to kill Gentiles and that, that we have to stop them and shit like that. That's going to be a Nick Fuentes experience. And so for a lot of people, young white boys who are on the internet who are looking for, offensive and edgy, what they call it, but edgy shit, yeah, they may fall into a Nick Fuentes rabbit hole and think the whole thing is fucking the epic memes, right? And it's all the epic memes up into Jan 6 until, Nick Fuentes is literally telling you days before that y'all need to take your country back and shit like that.
Department of Education, you're not allowed to say, for example, that Jews killed Jesus Christ. We all know they did.
It was Romans. Romans killed Jesus. It was the Romans that did it. End of story there.
Romans killed him.
No, they said crucify him, give us Barabbas. That was the Jews, not the Romans. Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
The Arabs like the Arabs.
I love that as a rebuttal. Okay, fine, but do you actually believe in Jesus? Or are you one of those fakes? Do you have Jesus stolen valor, or do you believe in the Lord, our Savior, Jesus Christ? He's asking if you believe in white Jesus, too.
Do you believe in Jesus Christ, sir?
After dating a catboy? Oh yeah, I mean the last I had heard of Nick Fuentes, he was broadcasting hardcore gay porn to his audience. Accidentally. Yeah. Yeah, he finished the stream and then all of a sudden it's like, well, his stream's over. What's he gonna get up to now? There's no way of knowing because he's doing it with the camera off. Oh wait, he's showing us his display. What's that? Hardcore gay porn. Ah, yes, but he had an excuse for that one. That apparently was the Jews. It was apparently Israel. It was a Mossad agent who had hacked his stream and account and forced him and his audience to have to watch all of that hardcore gay porn. So, yeah, that was the thing that he did, for sure. And we run this city, bitch. You can't even get into a bar. I mean, I know a lot of the Groypers probably couldn't get into a bar because they're not 21 years old, so that probably hurt things too, but like, you're less running the city and more just fucking a bunch of clowns. The event was literally canceled. Uncancelable. The event was literally canceled. And by the way, this does have some real world effects. Hitler-loving Nick Fuentes acolyte Dalton Claude Felter, Jesus, admits that he's becoming so untouchable that he can't even get a job at McDonald's.
I'm really untouchable. I can't go work for a congressman. That's not going to happen. I can't go get a job even at like a McDonald's, because that's just, I'm too, you look me up. Look my name up, everyone watching. Dalton Claude Felter, and see what you find, and then let me know if you'd hire me. I'm really untouchable.
Well, yeah, Let that be a lesson to you, by the way, and to, you know, the Groypers and the Hitler Youth and the ultranationalists and the Christian fascists and the alt-right and the neo-reactionaries, every single one of these groups. Well, yeah, of course this can have potential employment opportunity problems for you. In the future, when you get hired for a job, I'm sure you can listen to all of the top CEOs tell you about their hiring practices. If you get through to getting a first interview, yes, they're going to Google you. At the very least, you're going to have your name looked up to see what exactly is this person about. Are they telling the truth? Did they actually, were they the alma mater? Did they have that high GPA? Did they get hired as an intern at this job? Is there evidence of that? Let's see this LinkedIn profile. And then if it turns out that they happen to be a member of a, you know, neo-Nazi organization that has done a lot of really fucked up shit and made a lot of racist statements, yeah, that will hurt your future possible career prospects, even if it was for the memes at the end of the day. That's why I keep all my social media private. Nick and his fans haven't learned how to do that. Well, that's, I'd say the only sad part of the story is if there's like, you know, very, very young Groypers who literally aren't white supremacists yet. They're not joining this because they, like, you know, hate black people or hate native people or anything like that. They're joining this because they think it's just so fucking hilarious to have this edgy racist Nick Fuentes lead this movement. And he's apparently very funny. And look how he jokes about being gay all the time. And he's hanging out with this cat boy racist. And he's broadcasting gay porn, but he's not gay. But his ex-roommates do say that he hunts for their sperm. And like, it's really funny, epic, hilarious, but he's also really racist and he hates Jewish people. And he's blah, blah, blah. If you're getting pulled into that world, that could have potentially, if you're then using it to be like, hey, everybody, going to my first Groyper meeting, can't wait to meet all the edgelords, then yeah, that it could hurt your future. Definitely could have detrimental effects, you know?
Howdy, everybody. I just wanted to let you know that for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can unlock bonus uncensored episodes of Mind Explosions by going to patreon.com/theserfs. Our videos couldn't exist without your support, and all our content is released early to our Patreon subscribers, as well as a ton of extra content you can't get anywhere else. Please like, subscribe, and thumbs up this channel, and if you're feeling extra perky, share it anywhere you think people would like to see or learn from our videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We first want to give a shout out to everyone who makes this show possible. This program is produced thanks to the generous support of our Patreon supporters: Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbar Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Poppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Bomey, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, Travis McClinton, and Words Greenwood, as well as every other person you see on the screen right now. This show would not be possible without them. And if you want to join these wonderful people who make this entire program possible, simply go to patreon.com/theserfs and you can unlock uncensored and bonus episodes and, you know, help us exist.